So I think it's ironic, Ben, that a lot of people right now are complaining about the repetitiveness of Destiny, this new Bungie product, where it's like, I gotta play the same maps over and over and over again, I gotta do the same missions over and over and over again. And here is Halo Master Chief Collection that is designed for you to go back, play 4 games you've already played over and over and over and over again. Specifically because one thing that I think I dig that they're doing, I dig a lot, and I think I want to see Uncharted do this. I want to see other big franchises. I want to see Tomb Raider do this, where you can not only get playlists of old missions, you can get like sections of missions of playlists. Like one they threw out that I thought was really funny was narrow escapes. So you can literally just do a string of missions that's you like trying to run to a ship or trying to get away from something. It plays up not only how much content we've gotten from all these multiplayer maps and these 4 massive big blockbuster games, but how different Halo can be. And ultimately, what you said right before the camera started rolling, wow, Halo's still fun. It's specifically Halo 2 multiplayer, which we haven't seen blown up as gorgeous as it is now. So what of your recent take that you got to spend a little time? I played it at Comic-Con and I got to check it out a little bit there. What did you see?
Definitely. So I played. The very first mission in Halo 2, I played through that, and then I did Zanzibar and Halo 2 multiplayer. And it's interesting. Oh, and I also saw they did a demo of the first level in Halo 3, kind of showing what they're doing there. Because unlike Halo 2, where you can like switch back and forth, Halo 3 was an Xbox 360 game, so you don't get that back and forth. It's just a better looking version of Halo 3. But I think it's telling how much they're focusing on Halo 2 and specifically focusing on Halo 2 multiplayer, because those maps are so good and it's still so much fun to play. And this being smoother, like the frame rate's much better, it looks much better. This is probably going to be Halo 2 multiplayer in the Master Chief Collection is what I'm going to be playing more multiplayer than any other game this year, I think.
Wow. I mean, a lot of amazing things came together. Halo 1 was multiplayer, but the online was kind of jerry-rigged. Whereas like 2, it's Xbox Live and the energy swords, and you were saying the maps and like more vehicles and stuff. The special abilities didn't come in until Halo 3, right? The shields and whatnot.
That was Reach. Oh, wait, was it 3?
Remember 3 had shields.
Okay,
I remember that was the big thing. The big teaser for 3, he used the shield.
Sorry, you had equipment, but like actual cooldown things that you had was Reach.
But that's one concern that they had, where they're bringing all these games back and they want the experience to be seamless, where it's like you're using this map or you're doing whatever, but they've added all these different quirks to the game over the years, and so how do they represent all of these abilities? They had to find a happy medium with the controls, because the controls have changed every single iteration of the game. So was that weird playing with this control setup on old maps? Did anything feel un-Halo 2 for you going back and revisiting this?
The controls that I was using were everything except the black and white buttons. It was all Halo 2. And the health system was from Halo 2. Like everything straight out of Halo 2, it all felt exactly the same. It just looked better and ran better.
You didn't miss the giant controller? It didn't feel weird not to just have this huge
No. So I know there are actually a lot of passionate fans about the original Duke. I don't feel that way. For me, I hated that thing.
I never hated it. I don't need to go back. But.
Right. I liked the S a lot. That's where I spent most of my original Xbox time.
So this stuff ages well, is kind of what you're saying. That after all these years, good design is good design as far as multiplayer fun and competitiveness and equality across how maps are represented. If it's capture the flag, it's like, well, your base is way better than our base. That's something that definitely, Bungie and 343 have paid very close attention to over the years. So it still holds up, which is good to hear.
I'm super glad you brought that up, because there's 2 things. The reason why the maps stick out so much to me in Halo 2, and I only get more fond of them over time, is because it seems like a lot of multiplayer map design now is, okay, we're going to have this section where it's going to be easy for you to snipe, or we're going to have this section where it's very close and you want to use like shotguns or submachine guns. What I like about a lot of the Halo 2 maps is they're big enough that you can use long range and medium range weapons, but there are also enough pockets where you can get into some really fun close skirmishes. Like I think about Zanzibar, and you have that cliffside, and it's just kind of like throw grenades in there, get in there with a shotgun, but then you can snipe across the map. Like maybe they're in the base and you're on the cliffs. You can kind of do everything, and so many Halo 2 maps fall into that, where whatever your playstyle is, you're probably having a good time. And it's something we've kind of gotten away from. The other thing that's driving me crazy is you can't sprint in Halo 2. It feels like you're walking in syrup.
Right.
You know, and because I can't think of a shooter like of last gen where you couldn't sprint, you know.
And you still can't sprint.
No.
So
Like
you
in
can't
Halo,
sprint in the single player, but in Master Chief Collection, if I'm playing on a Halo 2 map, just because I'm on this map, it's restricting me from running, or
Well,
if I switch to
now-
one of the later levels.
Now you're making me doubt myself because the way that
Well,
they presented
it's a lot to come up with. They
Right.
actually, there were a lot of questions that the people that I was with in our appointment at Comic-Con were throwing them at them. We're like, we don't know. We're still trying to figure that out. You know, what we're going to do, not only with this project, but kind of what we're going to do with the future of Halo multiplayer.
the way that they presented this session to me was like you couldn't like all of the limitations of Halo 2 were still in place. You didn't get any of the stuff from the later games.
Huh. Okay.
So-
So yeah, I wonder how that's going to work. It
Yeah.
can't be an easy job trying to streamline all that stuff.
No, definitely not.
So to specifically get back to single player, because you said you played through the first level, I didn't actually play it, but I watched someone play it, and he did a demo of going back and forth
Right.
between the two different engines, which I know is like a minor issue. I know people probably were really excited mostly about the multiplayer offerings from this new game.
Sure.
But that just tickles me, man. I love that.
Yeah.
I love it when games do that, and I love the mode. They said they did that with Halo 1, and I never played the Anniversary, but they said it had like the screen paused or something, or had to load it, or had to like fade to black or fade out.
It did.
And this literally is
This
a
is
click.
instant,
Like
yeah.
you just hit a button and you can just go back and forth.
And it's so cool. As someone who likes to see how games evolve, I did this with the first collection. I'm going to do it here. I'm like every single inch of that game. I'm going to be hitting the back button.
Well, because it also speaks to like what looks better. You know what I mean? Like what is the universal term for us to decide that one game looks better than that game? And when he first showed it off, he was like, "Hey, here's Halo 2 redone. Check it out." It's like, okay, it looks nice, but I mean, it's clearly an old game. And then you hit that button and go back to the Halo 2. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, you've really, really, really come a long way. Like, there's stuff I can't even see, you know, and specifically shading, like stuff is a lot darker, like the lights are a lot more intense.
What I really respect about 343 and probably the biggest reason I'm so jazzed for this collection is it would have been super easy for them to just release Halo 2 collection, redone on Xbox One, and then move on to Halo 3, and then move on to Halo 4. And they said, no, here's 2 through 4, here's everything you want. Or is 1 in there as well?
Well, yeah, it's
Okay,
everything.
I'm sorry, 1 through 4.
Yeah.
That was my mistake. And they're taking it a step further. They're not just doing what they did in the Halo 1 collection, because those new cinematics from Blur are incredible.
Yeah.
Like Sergeant Johnson, so they showed me a cutscene where Sergeant Johnson and Master Chief are on a ship, and just seeing him with the cigar.
Sergeant Johnson's actually like a person.
Yeah,
You're like, oh,
he's not
that's
just
what
a
he would look
blocky
like if he was
figure.
a dude. Like,
Definitely.
yeah.
There's this level of attention and the care, and the fact that they're giving you so much, I think is really impressive. Like they didn't take the easy way out, I guess.
And again, I like this. I want to see more of this. I think it's a fun celebration. Again, you can perceive a lot of companies now taking old games, being like, how can we make a quick buck? We'll just update it now and throw it into HD. But it feels like a celebration. It feels like something that people, regardless of what Halo game was your first game, you can get excited about. You can go in and just kind of experience all this content. With everybody talking about streaming now and games being digitally downloaded, I like the opportunity to just have it. I can just have my Halo. Yeah. I can have all my stuff. I love this franchise more than any other. I'm not just a gamer that goes out and tries everything. I really have just found it. This is the series I love. These are the developers that I like. And so I can, play this with them, play this again with this community, and people can maybe check out Halo games they never played before.
And it's so, like, I really care about game preservation. It's one of my number one concerns. And
number one concern?
Well, as from the video game perspective, I have broader concerns outside of games. But in video games, I really care about video game preservation. And so in my opinion, Halo multiplayer was the best in Halo 2, but I appreciate that they tried to advance it and do new things in Halo Reach and Halo 4 and Halo 3. But I can't go right now, except for the PC version, go play the Xbox version of Halo 2 online because they shut it down, it closed.
Yeah.
And so it's so nice to have something like this where I can experience again, and they're not, I can experience it as Halo 2 without all of the additional stuff. I can experience Halo 3 and I don't have to worry about that being shut down on this new system.
And you can almost feel that at the Microsoft press conference this year at E3, the weight of Halo 2 multiplayer.
Yeah.
And you know, whoever, I can't remember specifically who made the announcement on stage, but it almost sounded like he recognized the 2 as the peak. You know,
Right.
the 2, or not necessarily the peak, but like the most explosive upgrade that they had, where it just
Definitely.
all of a sudden, like I said, everything came together, and it's so memorable. I'm looking forward to playing it with you, Ben, having you kick my ass.
I don't know about that. I remember, okay, just a quick anecdote. One of the funnest things I ever did as an intern at GT was I got to work on the Halo retrospective. And
Right?
by work on,
Yeah.
I pretty much just played Halo and gave you the footage. But one night you were like, you know what, we need to get multiplayer. And so like a bunch of people, including myself, stayed later after work had finished, and you ordered a pizza, and we just played Halo 1. And I was like, I miss this so much. This brought me like right back to middle school.
That couch co-op, yeah, it's definitely something I'm curious to see if the couch comes back.
Yeah,
with
I
Master
think
Chief Collection.
I think we should stream Halo 2 and just.
Oh
like,
yeah, we're gonna
hours.
stream the hell out of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a reason to have a revival of Halo. So
Definitely.
looking forward to it, man. Thanks for
This
chatting.
is fun.